All right, today we are going to be talking about 10 things that I no longer buy. I've been doing a lot of hauls, favorites videos, buying related videos recently, so I wanted to just do the polar opposite and talk about things that I don't buy and things that I won't be buying any longer. And it was actually quite hard to come up with 10 things. I feel like it was super easy for me to come up with about 7. And then the last few, I really had to think about for like a couple weeks. It took me to come up with the last few. So I challenge all of you to come up with 10 things that you don't buy. Maybe it's just me. I am not a minimalist at all. I'm not claiming to be. This is just something interesting to think about. And it does kind of make you think about your buying habits, your spending habits. I kind of think it would be interesting to do a video on 10 things I do think are worth spending money on. Let me know if you guys would want to see that. But I saw Leanne Says do this video and also Jessica Braun, and I just really enjoyed watching it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do while you're watching, you can give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. The shadows in front of me right now with the leaves are doing like weird disco ball kind of things. So I kind of feel like I'm at a rave right now. You can't see any of this and I just sound a little bit psycho. Grab your coffee, grab your snack. I've already had way too much caffeine today, so I do not have my afternoon cup of coffee, but let's get into it. All right, the first thing that I'm no longer buying / have bought since the beginning of quarantine is getting my nails done. This is actually something that is a little bit surprising to me that I haven't missed doing at all, and I have no desire to do. I realized since quarantine started that it's not something that I feel is necessary to spend money on. It's not something that I'm saying I'm never gonna spend money on again. Like, you know, I feel like a pedicure every now and then is probably necessary just to really get in there and scrub and stuff. But as far as just doing my own nails, I enjoy doing my own nails. I would much rather be able to like put on a YouTube video, paint my own nails. I really enjoy press-on nails. If you apply them in the right way, they can last for a few weeks. I'll leave a couple of my favorite glue-on nail brands down below if you haven't tried them. They're super affordable, way more affordable than getting your nails done in a salon every few weeks or every month, whatever it is. I used to always get shellac. That was like what I would do in the salon, either dip powder or shellac. And it's just such a waste of time, especially in Seattle, or if you live somewhere where there's traffic. It's like by the time you drive there, get your nails done, do it, and it's not something that I enjoy doing in the first place. Some people, it's like, you know, a thing that's relaxing, and I get that, but for me it wasn't. So it was like I already wasn't enjoying doing it. I would just do it to have my nails done and stay on, basically, especially with filming. So it basically turned into this like 2.5 hour, 2 hour thing with traffic and going and getting it done. That was about like, you know, $40, $50 every time with tip. And it was nice to have my nails always staying on with dip powder, shellac, but it's just a time consuming, expensive thing. And now that I know that I love press-ons or just painting my nails and watch YouTube videos while I do it, there's just other options that I found. And I also do want to try my own dip powder at home. I know I've been saying that for forever. I have it here. I just need to actually do it. The only thing is removing it. That's where it may be worth going to the salon for me, is removing the dip. It's one of those things that I just have not missed not being able to do, and I'm not going to go back to doing it. All right, number 2, I feel like a lot of people might feel me on this one, hopefully, is Groupon fitness classes. Raise your hand if in a very brief moment of feeling motivated, you just bought the 15-pack of Groupon fitness classes thinking it was a great deal and you were gonna do it, and then you went twice and they all expired. I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I think I've done this about 3 or 4 times, which is not cheap. I think each one was about $250, so you can do the math there. That's a big waste of money. So I am done doing that. I am no longer buying not just Groupon fitness classes, but just packs of fitness classes in general. I just can't commit to that for multiple different reasons, but the days are over where I am getting sucked in to Groupon fitness classes. I did one for aerial yoga and I actually really enjoyed aerial yoga. I would totally do that again, but it just doesn't make sense. I just need to buy one-time classes. Just go when I can go and do it when I can do it. It seems like a deal until you don't use it, and then you're $300 down the drain. I usually look on Groupon for other things, especially if we're like traveling or something. I'm really into escape rooms, and when we were in New York, we did an escape room in Brooklyn, and I found that through Groupon. And so you can get really good deals on Groupon, and I'm usually pretty good about using other Groupons before they expire, just not ones that involve me working out. So there's that. Okay, number 3 is kind of a weird one, but it is very true to me, I guess you could say. It is jeans that semi-fit. I am notorious for buying jeans that almost fit perfectly right, and I think it's because I'm very short and I have a body shape that, I don't know, it's like jeans almost always, wait, what am I trying to say here? Jeans very frequently almost fit right, but almost never fit perfectly. And I feel like that's probably, you know, common. I think there's very few like body types where probably just you try on a pair of jeans and it fits perfect every time. If that's you, congratulations, that must be nice. But my like main thing is that behind my knees, jeans are always like a little bit bunchy and baggy, and then in the ankles, they're almost always bunchy and baggy because of my height. So for a while, I would be like, okay, I just can't find the perfect pair of jeans, so I just need to sacrifice in, you know, this one area if I want it to be good in this other area. So I would buy jeans that almost fit right, and then I would have like 10 pairs of jeans that almost fit right, and I would just never want to wear them because when I would put them on and actually go to wear them, it would just bother me because they didn't actually fit right. So then I would have a bunch of pairs of jeans sitting in my closet that I didn't actually love, and then I would just end up, you know, donating them or selling them or whatever. I do resell a bunch of my clothes on Poshmark. If you ever want to follow me on Poshmark, it's my old YouTube name, which was the Taylor. So I'll put my Poshmark link down below to my closet. So if you ever want to shop my clothes, you can do that down there. So at least it's not like they're totally going to waste, but I've just decided that if I don't absolutely love a pair of jeans, they're going back. I'm done settling on almost perfect jeans. I buy most of my jeans from Abercrombie, American Eagle. Those are like the top 2 places. Express has some good ones. If you are on the shorter side, those sites make short sizes and long sizes. But even then, there are sometimes where like it's too tight in the waist and it fits everywhere else, but I still keep it. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll just be uncomfortable. But I'm done doing that. You know, if it's too tight, they're going back. If it's bunchy in the knees, they're going back. I just don't want a bunch of pairs of jeans sitting in my closet that I'm not actually going to wear because I put them on and I'm not happy with them. All right, I think we're on number 4. I started going out of order on my list, and now I don't know what number I'm on, but I think we're on number 4. Okay, so number 4 is dryer sheets. What the heck is the point of these? Seriously. I feel like these were one of those things that I never had even really heard of because my mom never used dryer sheets growing up. I didn't have them in college, and then I feel like it was one of those things that as soon as I started becoming an adult, I started hearing about dryer sheets and being like, oh, I must need dryer sheets, right? Turns out you definitely don't need dryer sheets. So I know dryer sheets are supposed to help with like the static of your clothing and also can add, you know, some scent, a little scent boost to your laundry. I just don't feel like I need the added scent boost after all of my other scented detergents and other products. I am big on scent with laundry. I love my scented laundry products. Big on Gain, big on Tide, big on Purell, not Purell, Corona brain, Persil, Pro Clean. One, these are literally like tissue, so they're pretty wasteful. They're just sheets of tissue essentially that you put in the dryer and then you have to throw them out after. So it's kind of just a waste. And then also half the time I forget to use them in my laundry. So that's how like forgettable they are and not necessary they are to me. And I just don't notice like that much of a difference with the static of my clothing. Maybe it depends on where you live, how, you know, humid or dry the environment is. Maybe dryer sheets would be more necessary, but I don't know. Here in Seattle, I don't feel like I need them. Are you pro dryer sheets or anti? Comment down below. I need to know because I just feel like they're a waste of money and I'm just not going to be purchasing these anymore. I just felt like I was buying them to buy them because I felt like that's what adults do and I don't need them. The end. All right, the shadows are starting to get even more intense, so I'm hoping this lighting situation is okay still. I'm filming just in natural lighting in front of the window. Okay, so number 5 is Bath & Body Works candles. And I've kind of like touched on this in different videos and different vlogs recently. This is for a few different reasons. One, I feel like I never really like experimented with different candles. I first got into candles when I was in college and Bath & Body Works were just like kind of the candles to try. It was kind of the only candles I really knew about. They were known as like the best candles. And I just kind of went to town with Bath & Body Works candles from there and purchased from Bath & Body Works for years. Never really thought twice about it. Never really tried any other candles besides like TJ Maxx candles here and there. And I do really like the DW home brand from TJ Maxx, and I also would purchase like Target candles here and there. But for the most part, I would just always purchase Bath & Body Works candles when they did their sales, like they're 2 for $24, so it was $12. The thing is, Bath & Body Works candles, while they do smell amazing, I love some of their scents like mahogany teakwood. This is the high intensity. They smell amazing, and I love mahogany teakwood so much. I will forever think of college when I smell mahogany teakwood, because that's all I used to buy. But they burn so friggin' fast. Like if you're burning your candle for a couple hours like I usually do, this literally will only last me like a few days, whereas other candles I've tried will last me like weeks, literally weeks and weeks, if not a month. And they just have way better burn time. The Throw Bath & Body Works candles is amazing. I mean, they'll smell up like your entire place. But besides just the actual quality of their candles, I just feel like for whatever reason, candles for me are one of those things that there are so many amazing smaller brands that make amazing quality candles for around the same price that you can support, that it's like, why not? Why not support those brands? And there are just some beautiful candles out there, like this one from Harlem Candle Company, A&I Co. I love Anchored Northwest, they're a local one. I've talked a lot about just kind of like smaller Etsy brands recently. There are just so many amazing smaller brands out there. And I know you can say that about makeup, you could say that about literally everything. I did already have these from like years ago. I think I still have like 4 or 5 of these just in my cupboard saved. So you'll be seeing these still in empties videos coming, but it's just the ones I'm burning through. I'm just going to be trying to purchase these kind of candles moving forward. Number 6, I no longer buy K-cups. They're just super wasteful. Are there other wasteful things I use in my life? Absolutely. But K-cups need to be thrown away. You can't recycle K-cups as far as I'm concerned. But even then, it's just plastic, and you can easily use a reusable K-cup. I got mine at Target, and you just get ground coffee and then scoop the coffee into the reusable K-cup. You can still use your Keurig. It brews, 1 cup of coffee still just like the K-cup would, but you don't have any waste. You're just using the ground coffee. So that's what I've been using for, I want to say, about the past at least 6 months now. I do still have an espresso machine, and Nespresso, you have to buy their Nespresso pods, but those you can recycle, and I do have their bag and I send it back to them and then they recycle it. I do live by myself. If I had roommates or lived with my boyfriend or whatever, I think we would just use a normal coffee machine at this point if we are brewing more than like 1 cup of coffee at a time. But I do still enjoy the Keurig because it is just really easy to brew 1 cup of coffee. I usually have 1 cup of coffee in the morning, and then I'll have like 1 more cup or an espresso a few hours later. So I don't want to brew a whole, big pot. And I also don't love a French press. Don't come for me. I just can't get into the French press. Doesn't taste as good to me. I'm not into the French press. I know. There's also pour over. I just already had my Keurig. If I didn't have a Keurig and I was only brewing coffee for 1 person, I would probably just get a pour over. And I like that now you can literally buy whatever coffee you want, because you can use whatever grounds you want in the Keurig, since you don't have to just buy whatever's in the actual K-cups. So that makes sense. What the heck number are we on? I'm gonna have to go through all these. All right, so number 7 is expensive live plants in trendy shops. Seattle and Portland have so many little boutique trendy shops with like $80 plants that are like this big, and I've been suckered into them. Okay, they come in cute little pots. You think you're getting a deal because if you're like me, you know nothing about plants. Now I know a little bit more because I have, I've gone through the process of what I'm about to tell you. However, when I knew nothing about live plants, I just didn't know to do my research about the price of plants. I just figured everything was priced the same because they're a plant. Not true. You can get totally ripped off with plants. I mean, plants can get expensive. This guy, he's a real fiddly fig. Some people think he's fake, which I think is a compliment because apparently he's doing well. I've actually had him for about 3.5 years now. He's my longest living plant, but I've definitely had my fair share of just shopping around, getting sucked into buying a cute little plant and it being ridiculously expensive and then it dying like a couple weeks later. And that's happened to me like 2 or 3 times from when I buy them from like little cute trendy shops. So I don't know what the deal is there, but that hasn't happened to me when I bought plants from nurseries. The common denominator there seems to be the trendy shop. I'm not saying don't ever buy a live plant from a boutique. I'm sure there are some that are like totally fair priced and fine and know how to take care of their plants, but in my experience, they always die, and then I'm like $80 down the drain for a tiny little snake plant that died 2 weeks later. Okay, so number 8 is actually getting my hair done. And this is kind of an all-in-one like cut color. But if you saw one of my vlogs from a few months ago, I talked about and showed how I cut my own hair. I've been coloring my own hair for years, just out of the box, which I know people have different feelings about, but my hair is very soft and healthy and shiny, and I don't know what to tell you. I like box dye. It's always worked for me, and it's easier if you're going dark. I mean, it's a totally different story if you're trying to like bleach your own hair and do your own highlights. That's a whole other story. If you're just going dark, it's pretty easy to do yourself at home. Here's my hair. It's quite long. I need to probably chop off some more. But I just learned how to cut my hair from watching YouTube videos. I've been cutting my boyfriend's hair for a couple years now, and I just learned that through YouTube as well. Personally, I find it to be definitely doable at home. Is my haircut as great as a hairstylist would do it? Definitely not. Like, I'm not saying that hairstylist jobs are just, you know, easily doable and it's an easy job. I have respect for hairstylists. It's a hard job. I'm not saying I have anywhere near the amount of knowledge or talent or skill or anything. I actually just colored my hair last night, hence why I have a little on the sides here, but I just give myself a little chop, a little trim every now and then, and it seems to be working out great. I save a ton of money doing that. I don't have to leave my house. If you're curious about attempting to cut your own hair at home, do it at your own discretion, but I will link the couple videos that I watched down below, and also link the one I watched for cutting men's hair if you're trying to cut your boyfriend or husband's hair. All right, and then number 9 is subscription boxes. There were only a few I used to subscribe to, and these were like a couple years ago. Really recently, I haven't subscribed to too many. I used to do Freshly, which was like a food, I think it's national, but it's like a food delivery pre-prepared meals one, and I just found that I wasn't eating them. Like, it just wouldn't sound good, and then the food would go bad, so I like canceled that one. I do love HelloFresh. That one I still use and stick with. Like, there are certain subscription services that I do think are worth it, but as far as just like product ones, those are the ones I'm talking about that I no longer buy. So I just don't think I need any more products personally. Kind of product boxes I'm talking about are like Birchbox and FabFitFun, those kind of boxes. The plus side to those is that sometimes you find products that you never would have tried out otherwise that you end up really liking. But the downside is that sometimes you have a bunch of products sitting there that you don't like or that you don't need or that you're not going to go through, and then it just ends up being kind of wasteful. So I think just regardless of YouTube, like even if I wasn't testing a bunch of products for my job, I don't think I would be purchasing those boxes because I just would rather be more selective about the products that I do purchase. It was challenging for me to come up with the last couple here. So number 10 was coffee out as much. When I say out as much, I've actually in the last, I would say like since March, since quarantine, I think I've only gotten coffee out maybe max 5 times, which that's pretty crazy. I mean, it's been what, 6 months? I was just being extra cautious, and coffee for me was one of those things I was like, it's not worth the risk at all. And so I just got really used to making my own coffee, my own iced coffee. I just didn't miss it at all. Like at all. And that was one of those things that kind of surprised me, like the nails, where I was like, I really just don't miss it. And I think what I realized is it's less of the actual coffee and more of the activity. Like what I miss more is going to a coffee shop, like walking to a coffee shop, just being in the atmosphere of a coffee shop, working from a coffee shop, and that's when I normally buy coffee. I would go through Starbucks drive-thrus a lot, and I think that was more of just like part of my routine. There are a couple of Starbucks drinks that I do really enjoy, like the Nitro Cold Brew with Sweet Cream. That's a drink that I haven't been able to find anywhere else, like anything similar or replicate at home. So that's like one drink that I do think is worth getting out. But other than that, I like my iced coffees that I make at home, the taste of them better than pretty much any drink I've had at Starbucks or other coffee shops. So I'm not saying that I'm never gonna buy coffee out. I'm just saying, especially I think Starbucks, like I just don't miss Starbucks. I do still want to buy coffee, support local coffee shops, but I'm done just getting Starbucks to get Starbucks. I just don't miss it at all. I think it's more of just a habit and a routine. And like when I used to go to Target, it was like I would get Starbucks because I was in Target and it was just part of the activity. It's not that I actually enjoyed the taste of Starbucks. So I think that's what I'm realizing. And I think if I do want caffeine, I'm gonna just try and next time I'm going through Target, get caffeine before from a smaller local place and then bring it into Target, you know? I think just for all of us now is an interesting time to kind of think about all of these things and reflect on what have you missed and what haven't you really missed, and what things can you give up and kind of cut back on, or what changes can you make in your lifestyle. And it's interesting that because of the pandemic, that's what's kind of kickstarted a lot of these changes almost for me. I don't know, it's interesting to think about. I have tons of room for improvement in other areas just as far as purchasing decisions and environmental impact, and I'm not perfect. I'm gonna guess that you're not perfect. I just think it's interesting to talk about and think about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below. I'm really curious if you think about this. Tell me your 10 things down below. When I was trying to come up with the 10 things for this video, I was texting a couple people and curious what theirs were, and I think my mom could only come up with 2 things. So let me know down below. What are yours? I'm genuinely curious. Please comment and let me know down below. If you want to know more about life, and follow me on Instagram, it's at Taylor Wynn. I post more like lifestyle things over there, just different travels and local things and Washington things. I also have a food Instagram account, Seattle Foodscapades, and my website is taylorwynn.co, where you can find all of the frequently asked questions. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.